Level 70, Firebird down below. Bunchen holds in his hand yet another missive addressed to you. How kind of you to pay us a visit. Now I need not summon you. But a moment ago, a certain surly cat returned with another missive addressed to you. See for yourself. Brave adventurer who stood fast and quelled the raging Aramatama of my comrade Byaku. The time has come for you to return to Ryzen Temple. I presume the auspices of Hell's Lid have need of you once more. If so, give my regards to them and dear Sorbonne. Back to Hell's Lid. So I assume this is going to be a trial coming up. If it holds to the, what it did last time. Dungeon trial, dungeon trial. I don't know, I suppose we'll see. There should be 2 or 3 more, I would think, right? Well, I mean, if we went by number of wolves, but there's still like there's the 4 cardinal directions, and then there's like the main one sealed in the rock or whatever. So I just overflew the whole thing, didn't I? Alright, Fury. Headed for the temple or just taking in the wonderful smoky air? Well met, Zilly, well met. But wait, where is the little urchin girl of whom I have grown so fond? Would be remiss of us to proceed without her, would it not? Why not summon her with that trinket of yours, your link pearl? Hello, is that you? Huh? Right now? Very well, if you insist. But wondrous things, these link pearls. Now then, let us wait until your friend arrives. Silly Ginbu. Ah, good of you to join us, little urchin girl. You know, there is such a thing as a running a joke into the ground. Pleases me to inform you that thanks to your assistance with his training, Sorbonne's strength has grown by leaps and bounds. Ere long, we may count him among our most formidable warriors. Out of curiosity, where is Sorbonne anyway? Engrossed in a very special exercise, I'm afraid. Trust me when I say he would not want you to see him in his current state. Working up a sweat, no doubt. Glad to hear it. But I called you here not to discuss our Kojin friend. The wards have grown weaker, presaging Koryu's inevitable escape. Before he breaks free, the 4 lords must marshal their strength. And so, Zilly, I must entreat you to quell the raging Aramatama of a dear comrade once more. A fight, is it? That's where our warrior of light shines. Who's her opponent this time? See for yourself, she should be joining us shortly. Firebird. It has been too long, elder brother. Several hundred years, by my reckoning. Am I to assume you have kept your silent vigil all this time, Suzaku? Let us not speak of such things. You bade me come hither for another purpose. That I did. Koryu's wards grow weaker by the day, and the calamity he would visit upon us draws nigh. The four lords must join their strength together once more. And to that end, this warrior would unburden my tortured soul. Just so, hers is a power far surpassing that of mortal men. She is heir to the legacy of Tenzin. Brother, how dare you compare this creature to that shining paragon of virtue, of kindness? You sully his memory. And you dare think yourself his equal, his better? Then I will put you to the proof, and when you fall, it will be a fate most deserved. Turn back if you would not have it be so, or join me in my misery. Or join me in misery, okay. Well, it's just going to be me and my, warrior friends. Compared to Byakko, she seems much more angry. Got a fiery temper. The Arumatama feeds upon her grief and fuels her rage. She yet mourns a love lost, but it is not my place to speak. Go to her, brave warrior, and learn the truth of her heart. We will settle it with fist. I was about to say, where is she? Oh, she's right here. You crave battle then, even if it brings you your death. Out of duty, you pit yourself against enemies ever stronger, without hesitation, without fear. You muster your courage and... No, you are not even a pale shadow of his glory. There was but one man fit to wear the mantle of hero, and he has long since passed from this world. If so, then the Ruby Sea will be consumed by Koryu's fiery judgment, and we, her sworn protectors, will have failed in our duty. Is Tenzin's memory so sacred that you would doom this land out of spite? Is Koryu the same one from the Astrologian quest? I'll have to go back and watch that. Oh, Byakko, do you not see? Before I called you brother, I was but a bird who loved a man. Perhaps that was all I ever meant to be, for I can brook no replacement at my side or in my heart, not so easily as you. Have you forgotten his final moments, how he fought and died to defeat Koryu, how he sacrificed himself before our very eyes? How dare you ask me that? Every detail is forever seared in my mind's eye, a blackened scar upon my soul. How could I possibly forget? Nor should you, nor will I forget every day we spent together on the road, but to exalt the past over the present, to live life in mourning and never move on is to dishonor his memory. I dare you speak to me of dishonor, you who have opened our home to this pretender. I see her plainly, how she has wormed her way into your hearts, mimicking Tenzin's manner, cloaking herself in his scent, seeking to supplant Tenzin in our minds. Listen to yourself, my sister. The Arumatama has driven you to see Oni and shadows. Let it be quelled before your soul is forever lost. Only to Tenzin will I entrust my soul. Only his love will I accept. Let me help you. You have nothing to fear from me. Let me help you. You should be very afraid of me. He said, oh, Tenzin, very well, but I will brook no delay. I will await you in the depths, in my place of mourning, and when it is ended, I shall mourn you too. Depths. Forgive her. She is yet consumed by her failure to save Tenzin all those years ago. Her regret is as a festering wound. The love she bore him gave her strength once. Alas, through it, the Arumatama has found purchase in her soul. It feeds on her grief and despair. It's plain that your presence troubles her as well. She senses your blessing, and it reminds her of him. There were moments when she looked on you with a fire in her eyes. When she gives herself to the Arumatama, she may surrender to her delusions as well. If so, do not be alarmed by what she says. Stand fast and free her from her torment. Be warned, she commands many powers, including the ability to manipulate geomantic currents. Only by remaining observant will you survive. Like traps? Hell's Kier. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. The entrance. Hope this doesn't take long. Hell's Kier. Level 70, Hell's Kier. As the return of the mad auspice Koryu draws ever closer, Ginbu of the Four Lords seeks to marshal his comrade's strength. But while the White Tiger, Yako, has been restored to his senses, the radiant Suzaku is on the verge of succumbing to the Aramatama. For centuries she has mourned the fallen Tenzin and in her boundless grief struggled to accept his loss. What is more, her ascendant Aramatama now clouds her mind and drives her to reject those who would offer her comfort. As before, there is but one way Suzaku can be brought back from the brink of madness. For the sake of the Ruby Sea and those who call her home, you and your comrades must quell the rage within Auspice's soul. Okay. They will be synced upon entry. Average item level 355. Let's join up. Uthard, Hell's Kier. Alright. Well, haven't done a trial. Oh, I have no clue what we're supposed to do. As always, we're going in blind.
Tenzin? Tenzin, 'tis I! Sheathe your sword, I beg of you! You gave me the strength to rise from the ashes!
Okay. I assume we were all tethered. We'd have to kill these. But this is all pretty standard stuff. Unless she throws out a tank buster that I won't be able to avoid. It's not an extreme, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Grade wide. Okay, what are we supposed to do? Outside? There's some people just standing in the middle.
I could not bear to lose you again!
Are we all supposed to stand on one? Alright, I missed one. Am I supposed to stand here? Is that what's supposed to happen? Did I mess it up? Okay, we stand in the direction of the arrows. I get it now? That offers you protection from the AoE thing. Okay, it's simple enough. Yeah, and I seem to get faster. I can't see which direction the arrow is.
Trust in me, my love! I will protect you,
I got 5 of them. I'm probably gonna die.
Please, my love, if only you would listen.
I mean, once you learn the mechanics.
All I ever wanted was for you and I to... Hearken to my melody.
Okay, what are we supposed to do here? What are we supposed to do? Okay, they're all here, so I'm just standing here. Okay, and they're all moving. Okay, I see. So when it hits something on the edge, and that one explodes. I assume it'll get faster later.
All I ever wanted was for you and I to...
Or that maybe they funnel AoEs, so you have to kind of force yourself into one if you're not careful. Everybody's over here, so I'm coming over here.
Tenzin, please!
These like towers. I don't want to fall off again. They look like towers to me.
You never did make it easy, did you? We will wake you from this madness.
I understand she's upset, but I could do without most of the whining.
Hearken to my melody.
Like this again?
It must be thus. Then I'm glad. It is you.
Okay, it looks different. Is it even gonna finish? Alright. Did that. It wasn't bad. Found the crying kind of annoying. And the car alarm going off is kind of annoying, but I think I'd like an extreme version of that one. I assume it's like that but faster, right? What noise? Alright, well that's done. I assume there's two more. I don't know. I know if we're gonna get to those today or not. How long have I been blinded by this dream, this never-ending nightmare, unable to escape the memory of my beloved? I owe you an apology, brave warrior, as well as my life. In spite of the crude and disrespectful way I treated you, you nevertheless risked your life to free my heart from the terrible delusion which threatened to consume my soul. For the first time in centuries, I can reflect upon my time with man I so deeply loved without being driven to tears. I know, that's right, she's 3, because Gimbu is one of them, so one left, 2 if you count Koryu. I was born into this world long, long ago, blessed with crimson plumage that shone like a blazing fire in the sun. My form was likened to that of a firebird of legend, being said to have the power to confer immortality upon mortal men. Thus was I pursued endlessly by those who yearned to conquer death. To them, to all mankind, I was no more than a means to an end. But Tenzin did not look upon me so. To him I was so much more, and he would become everything to me. Together we traveled, we 4 lords and the samurai. As comrades in arms, we journeyed the realm, feared at first by many for our nature. But Tenzin, dear Tenzin, would not close his heart to the people's plight. Not once did he hesitate to proffer a helping hand, and one by one he won over those who once cursed and condemned us. Be there Oni in the east to slay or revenants in the west to exercise. Without hesitation would he bid us rise to the challenge and leave grateful men and women to spread word of our deeds. Word which one day reached the ears of a king. It was by the king's order that we battled the mad auspicious Koryu. Despite the many deeds to our credit, we 4 had only lived some few centuries and were no match for our foe. Against the might of Koryu's raging Aramatama, my brothers and I were powerless, but Tenzin, brave Tenzin, he would not be denied. At the last, he unleashed a powerful technique, knowing full well that it would leave him exposed. I watched as the light left his eyes forever. Had I been the firebird of legend, had I been possessed of the power of immortality, had I been able to rescue him from a death's obsidian abyss. And then the cruelest irony of all, centuries later when I finally went through the change, immortality became mine to command. I can but wonder if my bottomless grief for my beloved made it so. The power for which I yearned so desperately that day is now mine. If not to save him, then perhaps. And perhaps to save those for whom Tenzin died. For the memory of my beloved, for his legacy, I shall fight. Let us go and tell Ginbu together. And Zilly, thank you. Donka. Oh, I see you are still in one piece. I gather all went well? Rest assured, elder brother, that I am myself once more. You certainly seem different from before, as if a great weight has been lifted from your shoulders. Your face is the very picture of serenity, I'd say. How very perceptive you are, little one. Indeed, I have at long last come to accept the passing of my beloved Tenzin. Long last indeed, but perhaps such prolonged periods of distress are unavoidable when one lives for more than 1,000 years. I myself am no stranger to melancholy. No, my brother, that you most certainly are not. Oh, how forgetful of me. I have yet to see how Sorbonne's training is coming along. Sorbonne! Sorbonne! Oh, wait, I know this joke. It's a firebird. No, it's an airship. Oh, no genre-savvy urchin, for it is in fact... The bird, it's a plane. Sorbonne! That's a hell of a technique. I mean, I expected him in some capacity, but not like this. Like an adamantoise. No one told me that this training would lead to such a radical transformation. Look at me, I'm a giant tortoise. A tortoise! I was wrong. This is the very definition of a running a joke into the ground. There's no need for panic, Sorbonne. You probably just recited the words improperly and offered your body as a vessel for a great tortoise kami. It seems to me like a very, very good reason for panic, unless I will return to normal after a short while, like with the Tamate Baku of geomancy. Well, I cannot say with any significant degree of certainty, but you might regain your original form by the time Zilly quells Seriu's Aramatama. Oh, got another one to do? Might. Might. What is this might? Might is not an acceptable answer. You must be exhausted from your battle with Suzaku, my friend. Perhaps it would be best if you returned to the land above and took a rest. He's right. I doubt we will be needed here for some time, and Sorbonne seems to be in no mood for company. Be sure to contact me if anything comes up. I had been meaning to return home, even if only briefly, but given my current state, that seems unlikely. If you could go in my stead and tell the Elder I am hale and healthy, I would be most grateful. The Tamamizu! Ah, Zilly, all is well with our friends beneath Hell's Lid. What of Sorbonne? How goes his training? He failed to perform a ritual correctly and was transformed into a tortoise, you say? But you are aware that... Oh, I see. This must be some manner of Eorzean joke. How very amusing. A pity we will not see him again for the foreseeable future, but I will trust it is for the best, as before. He should take as much time as required. He is a tortoise, after all. Ha ha ha. No, it still makes no sense to me. You've learned the emote hum.